The results of the Baseball Hall of Fame class will be revealed later on today, and the voters are notorious for being difficult to win over. And this year is not going to be any different because you have Bonds, Clemens, Sammy Sosa on the ballot for their final time. And baseball's Hall of Fame hasn't been shy about turning players away because you go back last year, they didn't induct anyone. But the voting results later today could potentially add a couple to Cooperstown. Big Papi is on the ballot. Kurt Schilling might get in. Scott Rowland, another name. Jimmy Rollins could get in. But let's see how they handle this. We've been in a weird limbo for a long time as fans trying to reach a consensus on one of the sport's most controversial topics. And it's going to be a controversy no matter what. If Bonds and Clemens get in, it feels like that's a package deal. If they get in, that opened the door for other players who have been on the steroid list. Big Papi, is he going to get in? Should he get in? There's Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe, covered Big Papi, not voting for Big Papi to go into the Hall of Fame. I used to hold on to this for dear life, like it's the Hall of Fame. And then the more I thought about it, I'm not wasting any time on this. If baseball didn't care about steroids, then why am I supposed to police the sport? It's a damn museum. You want to put them in the museum. The only thing I would say is just put something on their plaque that talks about, what happened in their careers. And they're not going to do that. And I encourage you to go to Cooperstown. It's a wonderful place. The Hall of Fame is wonderful, but I waste so much time every year talking about steroids. Those who got in, those who are not getting in. Why is that guy in and that guy's not in? It's a museum. If you want to put them in and you, the fans, want to go see them, great. Voters, you're changing your opinion on steroids. Who did it? How long did they do it? Who didn't do it? How do you know who did and who did? It just gets to the point where it takes away from the game. Baseball lost this a long time ago. They cashed in their integrity a long, long time ago. It's a wonderful sport. It still provides wonderful memories. But when it comes to steroids in or out, I don't care anymore. I just don't. Because it feels like that overshadows the people who get in. And I always feel bad for that. Let's say Scott Rowland gets in or Jimmy Rollins and Bonds and Clemens don't get in. Well, nobody wants to talk about Scott Rowland and Jimmy Rollins getting in. They want to talk about why Bonds and Clemens didn't get in or Sammy Sosa or what's this mean for A-Rod. It's just tiring. Yeah, Paul.
I kind of disagree. I don't think cheating goes away. And the Baseball Hall of Fame isn't the Louvre. The Louvre doesn't have rules for how an artist gets in. It's also an honor. It's based off, I think it says when you walk in the Baseball Hall of Fame, there's a sign that says the Baseball Hall of Fame is for players' accomplishments in the game. Their accomplishments weren't real. They were induced or whatever, injected.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I wouldn't change my vote. If I didn't, let's put it this way, if I had a vote, which I never would, I wouldn't change it 10 years later. I would either let them in day one or never let them in.
I don't want them in. I don't want Clemens and Bonds in. But, now all of a sudden you're asking these voters to be CSI Major League Baseball. And they're not equipped to do this. Now, you can ask, we're checking out Mike Piazza's back acne. Come on. What are we doing? And it's unfortunate. But baseball let this get out of hand. It unraveled because, hey, remember, 5% were cheating. And then we realized, no, I don't think so. But they went down the path we've been down this road too long and too many turns and detours and dead ends. And you want to put them in, tell the story of the baseball careers of these guys, then go ahead. But we don't concentrate on the game.
Do you think Jose Altuve of the Astros will have a harder time getting in the Hall of Fame because he's a big part of the Astros cheating scandal? And his career skyrocketed around the time that they're accused of cheating with stealing signs.
But even now that we all know that they did it, he still is an incredible baseball player.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's let's put it this way. If you're based off this principle then when Jose Altuve is out of the game for 5 years, you vote him in first time, or you don't punish him in any way for cheating, because cheating is now okay as far as a Hall of Fame voter.
Well, this would be like a guy getting busted one time for steroids. Now, do we hold it against you? You get busted one time, or are you still a Hall of Famer? Because, they're accused of cheating. Is he accused of cheating? Like, how do I prove that he cheated, even though we think there's circumstantial evidence? Like, it just gets to be really difficult to parse this out. And do I think Altuve is going to get in the Hall of Fame? Yes, I do. Do I think Bonds and Clemens are? No. Do I think Curt Schilling is? Yes. Do I think Sosa is? No. A-Rod. He shouldn't, but he might, because we look at those numbers. Like Rafael Palmeiro, did he just cheat at the end of his career? Because if that's the case, like, we use that excuse for Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds. Why don't we use that for Rafael Palmeiro? Oh, well, he was a Hall of Famer before he cheated. Well, if Palmeiro got caught at the end of his career, was he a Hall of Famer before he got caught? Or we just assume that, well, of course he cheated prior to that. Like, we pick and choose with this. Like Pudge Rodriguez. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody who played for the Rangers in that time. They were all, it felt like, steroid users. Yeah, see.
It's tough, though, when you're the face of a cheating scandal, and whether that's fair or not. Yeah. Jose Altuve is the guy that you think of first. He's the face. He's like the poster boy of the cheating scandal.
Absolutely.
That being said, and this sort of goes to, like, with all of these other guys, even the steroid guys, like you said, you can't tell the story of the game without them.
Yeah.
You can't tell the story of baseball and just ignore the steroid era, and nor can you, I don't think you can with stealing signs like that.
Yeah, Todd.
You set up a little separate wing, and you have a little juice bar there just to remind people on who did what we think they may have done. And there you go.
Clear your throat.
And then you do that, a juice bar.
Okay, a little juice bar.
A juiced bar.
Okay. Yeah, Paul.
Is Mark McGwire going in?
No.
How come?
Is he cheated?
I know, but if anyone made history and made history in the game, Mark McGwire. He and Sosa, they were a part of the history of the game as much as anybody. What they did, their accomplishments, even if they're tainted, they brought fans back to baseball in the late 90s more than Bonds or McGwire did.
Yeah, but I don't give you credit because you cheated
but
to bring fans back because you got to hit home runs that you wouldn't have hit.
But that's what I'm saying. Cheaters shouldn't be in. But if people are going to alter their vote and put people in based off accomplishments in the game and contributions to the game, McGwire, Sosa then would go in.
No, I don't put them. I don't think McGwire's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he had a lot of home runs, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Sammy, if you look at what he did, I know he cheated, but he had a 5-year, 6-year run where you go, that's incredible.
He averaged 61 homers a year for 4 years.
But nobody defends Sammy Sosa.
Nope.
Why? No evidence. Baseball players know. That's how, if you're a journalist, if you ask players or trainers, clubhouse guys, that's where you know what's going on. That was where I directed the commissioner. I said, you want to find out what's going on? Go in and talk to the clubbies. They know everything that's going on. And that's exactly what the commissioner did. Yes,
You have more of a problem with someone using steroids or with someone using a corked bat?
Steroids.
Do you?
Yeah.
You think so? You would be more okay with a corked bat? For some reason, I'm exactly the opposite. I'm like, dang, you use a corked bat, that's garbage. You use steroids? Okay, it's fitness.
It's fitness.
Yeah. I'm more okay with steroids, but a corked bat, I'm like, that guy's out, gone.
I'm not good with any of it.
But that's why I respect Sammy Sosa. He went all in. He wasn't half in.
He went steroids and cork bat.
And he was stealing signs.
Yeah.
Doubleheader.
Oh, it's so tiring.
The triple crown of cheating.
Yeah. Yeah. If they ever got Altuve for steroids. Not that he is. Not that I have no idea. Empower your investment portfolio opportunities in Puerto Rico. Impeller, the new online tool that connects investors with innovative projects on the island. Available now. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Learn more at investpr.org/impeller. We don't care about steroids in the NFL. When's the last time somebody said, that guy's on steroids? No one cares because, that sport is so violent. Well, no, we just don't hold any of those records true to our heart. Like baseball records, they're magical. I remember watching this with my father. We don't have that in the NFL. So nobody cares. It's like, yeah, they're gladiators. Let them just beat each other up and they have a brain damage and they die at 50. We don't care. It's like, but baseball, they're cheating the sport. You're using steroids. There's steroids in all sports. There's steroids in golf. There's steroids in the NBA. Like, we make it seem like the only people using steroids are baseball players. Yes, Eden.
Right, because it's like anybody keeping Tom Brady out of the Hall of Fame?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Wait about 5 years when a couple of reporters decide to do it.
Oh,
They'll make a name for themselves, but
That's what I'm saying. 2 guys will do it to get some notoriety.
well, that they won't vote, like he won't get unanimous on
Yes.
first ballot?
Guaranteed.
Well, he'll be first ballot.
Right. Guaranteed, though, there'll be 3 or 4 dudes out there who say, like, I'm going to make a name for myself.
Yes, Todd.
What about a pitcher? Steroids or substance on the ball? Which would be worse for you? If someone was juicing or they were just constantly putting stuff on the ball and they finally found out that they were doing something to the baseball.
They both bother me, but I feels like doctoring a baseball has been part of baseball for 100 years. Doesn't make it right, but there's certain things that we kind of grandfather in where it's kind of like, that's kind of cute, Steroids, not kind of cute. Yeah. He's putting something on there. He's carving up the baseball a little. Nolan Ryan. They used to collect his baseball. Mike Scott with the Astros. They collect the baseballs. The Mets, I was there. I was there in 86 where they're collecting the baseballs. You could see the little carve marks in them. I'm like, damn, send that to the commissioner. Better yet, send it to the Hall of Fame. Oh, man, I'm all fired up now. No, you ever have those moments where you say, I don't want to get into it. And then you get into it and you're like, yeah, I didn't want to get into it.
We knew what we were doing. We knew what we were doing.
Oh, it's about content on the program.